Hello trainers, welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go Battle. So today I'm actually showcasing a team that I used during Go Battle Night in Season 8, the very last one. That was from last week. I did not showcase any of the battles, I didn't record anything, so it was into my surprise that I climbed about 260 points from 3,030 to just shy of 3,300 points. Just finalizing my season with 3291. And I just stopped from there. So just to give a little bit of content, a little bit of background about the team when I was playing, I'm going to actually showcase these battles from Season 9. Our very first two sets of Season 9. So without a doubt, we're going to jump into these battles and let's just get into it. So towards the end of our season, I just want to come up with a different team rather than using the one that I kind of got used to a little bit, which was a Venusaur lead into a Galarian Stunfisk, and it was a Alolan Marowak in the back. I think I played for about one set or so, and it was giving me a little bit of trouble with some of the meta that I was up against. So I was trying to we're trying to create a new team, and I always love Alolan Marowak, so I just always wanted to have that in the back, especially having Hex, Shadow Bone, and then Fire Blast. It's just a wonderful nuking potential towards the end or even in the switch. And with this team in particular, I actually used it more for the switch, very specifically for the Bastiodon switch-ins. And what I came to find out actually using this team that I just randomly created, an ABB typical lineup, we have two fires in the back, but having at least a ghost in the back kind of helps out with some of those battles and some of the resistance that we can get from other Pokemon that we face. But going back to what I'm saying, it's kind of an interesting core between Swampert and Alolan Marowak, because usually some of the teams that we come up against, usually let's just say like a Venusaur in the lead, usually there's a core between a Venusaur and a Galarian Stunfisk and the switcher in the back, or even a Bastiodon in that case. And what I come to find out is that whenever there was a Venusaur lead and I switch into my Alolan Marowak, Bastiodon comes in, and we can at least knock it down about 50-60% health with Alolan Marowak, and then Swampert can actually come in, farm almost all the way down. Sometimes I would throw like a Hydro Cannon, give or take, but undercharge, meaning like don't fully charge the Hydro Cannon, and then farm down even more, just so when the Venusaur comes in, I may throw it, or I may switch into Talonflame, knowing that Swampert actually has two Hydro Cannons, or at least that's the goal that I usually try to take when I come up with a team, something similar to what I was just explaining about. So it was a really fun team, something that was truly unexpected to gain 260 points using from the 3,000. It was, like I said, 3,000 or 300,031-ish was where my starting point was. So I love Swampert because he's super spammy. He's still part of the meta. Having a lot of pressure against the Azumarill or anything with grass sometimes, if it was like those nuke move potentials. Like I said, on this team, in this case, Alolan Marowak is a good switch from what I've come to find out. And what I try to do is at least try to get a shield or so. And then what I usually try to do is save one shield if I could for a Talonflame for the close, if that was the situations that I would have to get into. And it really what it comes out to finding out that usually with Talonflame with one shield, with a lot of energy, just finishes off a lot of Pokemon in the back. In this case right here, because I haven't really commentated towards these battles, coming up with the Galarian Stunfisk is actually very tricky. You do want to have at least an Incinerate extra, just so with this matchup with the Galarian Stunfisk, if we don't have that extra Incinerate, they can actually charge up to 2 Rock Slides and knock us out. Because as you may or may not know, a Rock Slide actually knocks out Talonflame in one charge move itself. So it's a really sweaty battle. There's many battles I had from those sets in the past from last week, where if I didn't have that extra Incinerate from like the previous Pokemon, I can lose. So it's really sweaty. So but these two sets here, I mean, this is the beginning of Season 9. I don't think this really showcases the team to its fullest potential, but yeah, I mean, it was a really fun team nonetheless. I had probably 2 5-0s from what I recall, 2 4-1s, I had a bunch of 3-2s and probably about 1, maybe 2 sets that were 2 into 3. But for the most part, they were my mistakes, and it wasn't really the trainer's mistakes from what I was experiencing. And even with Season 9, what has been pretty interesting is the fact that I think I did play about 4 or 5 sets with this team in the beginning, because like I said, I wanted to showcase this video nonetheless with this team. And I did get the 2 5-0s in the beginning, which is what I'm showcasing now. And then I get into, I think, a 2-3. Again, my mistakes from what I was experiencing. Usually I was just either overthinking sometimes with moves, or I swapped in the wrong Pokemon by accident because I was streaming, but still no excuses. And then the other 2 sets, like I said, I think it was a 3-2, 3-2. I think there was at least a set or 2 from, or a battle or 2 from those 2 sets where I could have obviously won as well too, but I made those goofy mistakes. So, but Season 9, in the very beginning, it's been fun. Knowing from based on the last video that I talked about, I'm still kind of balancing out on my gameplay. I'm not in any rush to reach to Legend. I just still want to have fun playing this game, especially in the beginning here. Getting to the grinds, at least going up to rank 20. And hopefully, like I said, after this set here, like and when Great League comes back, I would like to showcase this team again, but in the right way. So. But these are just fun battles nonetheless. I did face up a couple legends, and it was still kind of a sweaty battle. But even so, like, there's just been some battles. I don't know if it's from backup accounts or just people that just know how to play. I mean, there were just some good battles at the end of the day. So as you can see, they didn't shield the Charizard there, and then they're just letting me farm. Now in this case here, this trainer actually has Metal Claw, which is not the right move that you want to have with the Galarian Stunfisk. You do want to have Mud Shot. You know, Mud Shot is just a faster generating move as opposed to Metal Claw. Metal Claw is good against Charmers, Fairies of that nature, but still having the Mud Shot is going to generate a lot more energy. And you're going to throw those charge moves a lot quicker, and it's going to be a lot easier for your battles. Because with the new movesets that came out for Season 9, or the updated movesets, looks like Galarian Stunfisk is going to be a bigger threat. Especially with a lot of the Pokemon that do have Weather Ball being now debuffed by 5 energy or 5 damage. So there's a lot of matchups, if you haven't really done your research, that makes Galarian Stunfisk a lot better in most situations, especially in Great League. But other Pokemon as well too kind of sacrifice a little bit as far as some of their wins with the decrease of Weather Ball. So going into these battles, this is a little tricky with Galvantula, and it's kind of funny starting off with the season. So many trainers have different moves, and if you may or may not know, Galvantula does have Energy Ball. So in this case, I'm like, man, again, I'm overthinking. You know, this is you know, not the highest ranked battles, but getting to my own mindset here, it's just very interesting. I'm like, damn, you know, I just don't want to, you know, get one-shotted with an Energy Ball coming into Alolan Marowak and probably get debuffed with a lunge, so I ended up shielding there. But nonetheless, it was still fun. So here we go. We have a Jelly, good old Jellicent, and in this case, Talonflame can still hold up pretty well, but Alolan Marowak with the Hex and the Shadow Bone, it does a lot of damage, and it causes a lot of pressure with shields, as you saw here. I did call the buffs twice, or the baits twice with the Bubble Beam. What I talked about earlier in the video, I wanted to keep the 1 shield just for Talonflame, just in case if there's any threats in the back, we can at least shield once and then throw the Brave Bird if we need to. But nonetheless, we didn't have to in that case. They had a good old Abomasnow that is super weak to Talonflame. And yeah, we're moving on to the next battle here. So we're just gonna commentate here. Alolan Raichu, another Pokemon that can actually learn Grass Knot, which is a clone or a similar clone to Energy Ball. So it's something you have to keep in mind when you have a Swampert as the lead. And this is actually very good for us, them switching into an Azumarill. So just to maintain health, I do shield here, and then I go with a Sludge Bomb. Or Sludge Wave, I'm sorry. So they don't shield theirs because they already shielded the first time. And this is a little bit of a risky move, but sometimes in these cases I actually switch into Alolan Marowak. I do shield because I was a little hesitant if they have Hydro Cannon or Hydro Pump, I'm sorry, and they just only threw ice beams. So here we go. We have a lot of energy now, and they throw in their own Hypno, which is actually perfect for us because our Alolan Marowak only needs 2 Shadow Bones to knock it out. Usually when the defense is lowered, in certain situations we can actually just farm all the way down and not have to worry about the Shadow Ball, which is what they actually threw here. So in this case, I think I go into... Oh, okay, I actually go into Talonflame just to start up building energy. And I actually throw here because they're just out of Shadow Ball, knowing the counts that it's actually 5. What is it called? 5 confusions to a Shadow Ball. And then again, they overtapped, which was not to their best interest. I think they could have won that match if I'm not mistaken, if they didn't overtap with their Raichu. But we got to the Flame Charge and being buffed with 1 attack from the Hypno in the past right there. We actually had enough damage and we won that match. So Cresselia, another Pokemon that we have to be aware of with the Grass Knot. Charges up pretty quick. And then they actually bring in their Azumarill. I think this trainer, if I recall from this battle, was experiencing some heavy lag. So in this case, we charge up to a Flame Charge and we let it go. And it looks like, from what I was noticing, that they just weren't throwing any moves. In this case, this is usually a losing match for Talonflame. But once in a while, I've been playing around, having fun to see what I can do to maybe gain a shield or to take a shield versus shield situation. So in most cases when a Talonflame is up against an Azumarill, for example, you can throw the first... They don't usually shield the first move. So typically what trainers usually would do is go with the Flame Charge and then go with the Brave Bird, because going straight Brave Bird doesn't actually knock it out. So that's kind of the strat. So usually I go Flame Charge, and then once in a while I may do another Flame Charge just so I can get the shield. I do shield as well too, and then I usually go with the Brave Bird, so it goes down to them needing to shield if they want to win switch, or then I just let go my Talonflame in that situation. So here we go in this match. This is usually, if I recall, a common team, usually having a Venusaur as the lead and then having a Pelipper in the back, and sometimes it's either a Bastiodon or a Galarian Stunfisk. So in this situation, I let go of, I forgot which Pokemon I just let go there. It was, what was it called? Alolan Marowak. And knowing the team comp, which is something that I did talk about from one of my videos in the past, you know, I wanted to be sure that the Talonflame had extra energy and had at least the moves set up to go when it comes up to this Galarian Stunfisk. In this case, because we already had that extra energy and the buff, we were able to take out that Stunfisk very, very easily. And then in this situation here, we can actually survive a Sludge Bomb, and then we can just throw the last Flame Charge or the Brave Bird. But we've been buffed already twice with the Flame Charge, so this is going to definitely knock out the Venusaur. And then we're just super close here. We both KO each other, and we win this match. GG's there. So it is a very tricky team to face. Knowing with a stronger opponent, you can actually lose with this team or with that team. So something just to be aware about. So here we go with the Stunfisk. This is very good for us. We immediately switch into our Alolan Marowak because we can actually win this match against Defensorm Deoxys. If they have Thunderbolt or Rock Slide, we don't need to shield in the beginning. One tip that I usually talk to trainers that once in a while may help or train in the back as they're doing their battles is that usually knowing what you can survive is good to know when it comes to facing your opponents. In this case, knowing that you can survive a Rock Slide or a Thunderbolt, there's no sense of shielding in the very beginning, because it is a mind game when it comes to trainers using or not using shields. So it's a very good strategy, or at least advice to learn, is to not always use your shields right in the beginning, knowing if you can actually survive moves, because trainers would usually mirror shields, knowing like in certain situations with certain Pokemon, you know, if they can win like the 1-to-1 shield situation or the 2-to-1, 1-to-2, stuff that, you know, you would like to study and learn depending on which team you actually use. So it's just a very interesting strat just to think about here. So Mandibuzz as the lead. We're coming close to the end of the battle. I think we have one more after this. Could be mistaken, but having a Mandibuzz with Shadow Ball in this case is a good thing to know. But usually I try to knock out Hydro Cannon or two But in this case, I want to start building up energy on Talonflame, being very curious of what they may have in the back. I do not know how much a Shadow Ball can do to a Talonflame with Amanda Buzz. I'm going to assume maybe it's like 50-60%. But I do want to hold HP health with our Talonflame, knowing that whatever they have in the back could easily knock us down. In this case, Sudowoodo. So Talonflame in Great League is very glassy, so that's why I definitely wanted to shield in that situation. Here they actually had a Rock Slide. They baited us, so we actually charge up extra energy here because Rock Throw is not a very fast energy generating move. And then I come in here, and in this case we can definitely survive a Shadow Ball from Amanda Buzz. Usually Pokemon that are ghost types that have Shadow Ball, we could survive it if it's not a heavy attack weighted Pokemon. But in this case, we built up to the Fire Blast, and we actually win that match, and GG's there. So, actually, I think that was the last battle. I can see it was right at the end here. Another 5-0. So, I think we get 11 win streak with this team. First 2 sets, you know, pretty easy. Not going to lie. But, like I said, with this team, when I was using it for... towards the last battles, I think I played about 10 sets maybe. I didn't really, like I said, recorded teams. I didn't really recorded the number of sets I played. I just kind of jumped right in, throwing the Talonflame because I haven't really used it in Great League, and just wanted to see how things go. And to my luck, I got 260 extra points, rising up, getting to my personal season high from season 8. And yeah, so I'm gonna probably showcase this team once I'm in the higher ranks again. I'll keep that in mind for the next re-roll for Great League. But yeah, just wanted to chit chat a little bit, just get our first sets going for season 9. Hopefully everyone's having a good time with our Great League and having Great League Remix. Maybe I may show some a little bit of spice, a little bit of fun from my backup account. But without a doubt, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.